Boriska Kipriyanovich was born in 1996 in a rural region of Russia into an ordinary family. His mother was a dermatologist and his father a military officer. However, from infancy, Boriska displayed extraordinary intelligence at just 15 days old. He could lift his head and utter simple words. By 18 months, he could read newspapers and even write Chinese characters despite no one in the family having learned Chinese. From the age of 2, Boriska frequently spoke of strange things: planet-star systems, lost civilizations, and life beyond Earth. According to him, in a past life, he had been a Martian, a pilot from a space force who once traveled to Earth on a mission. He claimed that Martians had a special connection with ancient Egypt. In fact, Boriska asserted that the famous Sphinx in Egypt contains a hidden mechanism at its back. When activated, it would bring about a turning point that could change the fate of all humanity. His stories did not resemble childish fantasies. They were logical, coherent, and filled with such vivid detail that even scientists could not easily dismiss them. From a very young age, Boriska spoke of Mars as if it were his former home. He described the planet as once having a mild climate-abundant life and an advanced level of science and technology that far surpassed Earth's. According to Boriska, Martians didn't use fossil fuels, they tapped into powerful clean energy sources. Their spacecraft were tear-shaped, designed to fly stably through the three-dimensional environment of space. Boriska recounted that Martian civilization was destroyed by a devastating nuclear war. The planet's atmosphere was ruined, leaving the surface uninhabitable. Survivors were forced to live underground. As a reincarnated soul, Boriska claimed that adjusting to Earth's oxygen was difficult, and believed it to be the reason humans age rapidly. He also mentioned an ambitious Martian plan to detonate Jupiter, turning it into a second sun to provide stable energy for the planetary system. However, war broke out before the project could be completed, putting an end to everything. These descriptions weren't just imaginative, they aligned with some modern scientific theories, compelling researchers to take notice. Boriska didn't limit his accounts to Mars. He amazed many by sharing memories of ancient Earth civilizations. He especially mentioned the lost continent of Mu, a legendary land in the Pacific believed to predate even Atlantis. According to Boriska, he had landed there during a Martian mission and described in detail its society people and the catastrophes that led to its downfall. He believed present-day Namibia was once part of Mu, a place he had personally visited. His descriptions matched several ancient legends and remained consistent over the years with no contradictions. Boriska's case caught the attention of reincarnation researchers. Dr. Zinker, a renowned psychiatrist in Germany, had documented hundreds of children recalling past lives. Data showed that such memories typically appear between the ages of 2 and 5 and are often surprisingly accurate. What made Boriska exceptional was that his memories didn't come from a human past life but from an extraterrestrial one. That uniqueness made his case especially compelling. When Boriska's stories began circulating in Russia in the early 2000s, public opinion and the scientific community were divided. Some saw them as the wild imagination of a gifted child. Others began to take him seriously. Notably, Dr. John Geralt from the University of California published a remarkable study. He discovered traces of cesium-137 radiation and unusually deep craters on Mars, potential signs of large-scale nuclear detonations. These findings raised the question, could Mars have once hosted an advanced civilization, just as Boriska claimed? Physicists also noted the logic in Boriska's technological descriptions: tear-shaped spacecraft, fuel-free propulsion systems, and interplanetary travel. Though many psychologists attributed Boriska's stories to environmental influences or exceptional memory, the number of consistencies with modern science left even skeptics puzzled. According to Boriska, The soul doesn't only reincarnate on Earth, it can be reborn on any planet that matches its spiritual development. He believed souls have choices to return to physical life for continued learning or to move into other dimensions as non-material entities. His perspective curiously echoes Buddhist and Eastern reincarnation beliefs, as well as modern quantum theories that treat consciousness as an indestructible form of energy existing across parallel realities. Boriska claimed not all souls need to reincarnate. Some have reached enlightenment and no longer require physical experiences. Others, like himself, are sent to endangered planets to share ancient memories and warn of forgotten truths. These ideas go far beyond what would be expected of a young child. Boriska wasn't just speaking of himself, he offered a new vision of existence stretching across time-space and unseen layers of reality. Whether one believes in his story or not, Boriska remains an extraordinary phenomenon. A child without access to astrophysics education, speaking fluently about planets' radiation technology and soul evolution. Though he later chose a quiet life, his legacy continues to spark debate among scientists, spiritual thinkers, and curious minds alike. Many believe Boriska's story wasn't about self-promotion, but a warning about what happened to Mars. A civilization that rose too fast, grew too powerful, and collapsed due to its own hubris. They were destroyed by their own brilliance. If that's true, Boriska may be the last living memory of a lost world, a messenger sent to remind us of the fate we might still avoid. We may remain skeptical, but perhaps the greatest lesson is this: never underestimate the memory of a soul, and never assume we've learned everything there is to know about the universe.